Now.
Welcome to the show. Rick, that was a terrific intro. Thank you very much.
You win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some.
I don't know, how smart an idea it was to give me this, but it was fun. I felt involved.
I saw this video of Harry Connick Jr. playing solo piano, and he's playing in front of this audience, and they're all clapping, right? And he's playing, and they're clapping, and he's playing, and they're clapping, except they're clapping, and he's playing, and they're clapping, and he's playing, and they're clapping, and he's playing, which is not the backbeat. I don't want to say caucasity, but they happen to all be white. And so he's playing this groove, and they're banging on the 1 and the 3, which is like very not groovy, right? So in his infinite genius, he's playing and he adds a measure of 5/4 in there, which is a little bit geeky music speak, but he basically adds a sneaky measure in, but stays in the groove. So the audience, instead of clapping 1, 2, 3, 4, is all of a sudden clapping 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, which is a backbeat and feels better. He turned the whole beat around on a whole audience without them knowing it.
Wow.
And the opposite of that story is Justin Bieber is performing one's acoustic guitar in an arena, and there's 12,000 people, and they're also clapping on 1 and 3. And instead of like adding a measure of 5, he stops the show and yells at the audience, "You're clapping at the wrong beat." It was awesome. Welcome to the show.
Wow. I was going to guess that that's what he did.
Yeah.
Because it's the opposite of the first story.
And he's a good musician, truly. But, you can't add a measure of 5 when you have like a computer playing the tracks and like the lighting all pre-programmed and stuff.
I'll remember that.
Yeah. Doesn't it seem like everybody and the mother has a podcast? Oh, so I started a podcast with my mom. We wanted a theme song so you could sing along. The show, it starts now. What's new?
Things are different, and I made a list of what I should do every day. I have yet to put it on the calendar because I have this habit of putting things on the calendar, and the calendar's so crowded, and I don't do the things anyway. So I clean it out a little. But the important things to do to make sure that I do: talk to friends.
Yeah.
Go outside. See people. Have lunch with somebody.
This is great.
Walk to the beach. Walk on the beach. Walk near the beach. Look at the beach.
It sounds like you're programming an AI vacation bot or something. Like, now robot, when you go and integrate into society, I want you to check this list off every day.
Oh, right. No, this is not every day. This is just so I can't do all of my list every day.
No one can.
Right.
Unless you read a really short list. Or
do nothing.
Or the to-dos are like really basic,
If I wrote a list that said do nothing, I wouldn't even be able to do that because I can't sit still and do nothing.
I will say that I do often add make checklist to my checklist, and it's just, you can just check it right off as soon as you're finished.
That's great.
Yeah.
What's new? Well, we're taping in your place
That's
instead
right.
of mine or
right.
the desert.
Yeah.
So this is nice.
This
and
is
you
new.
got the piano. Thank you for playing that. That's
You're welcome.
Very,
You're welcome.
very cool.
Thank you.
Very cool.
So
you're talking about backbeat and adding 5 something
an extra beat.
measures.
Uh-huh.
No, beats. Something.
Yeah, an extra beat.
So I was thinking about 2 things: live performances. I have heard live music once when we were in the desert, but I have not made any plans to go to a live concert. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, well, we're watching basketball. You're watching basketball, right?
Yes, I wasn't going to bring that up till after the musical.
Okay.
But
I mean,
yes,
it's
I'm watching basketball.
great to see.
2 games a day.
Yeah.
I put it on my list and I'm doing it.
There you go. Very good.
I know.
It's great to see audiences. The energy is different and awesome, and it's also like, I guess we're doing this, and that's cool for them. I'm not trying to go to an arena yet. I got an email like 2 days ago from the Troubadour, like my favorite venue in the world, one of them, and it was like just announced, now on sale. Comedian John Mulaney is doing 10 nights at the Troubadour. And I was like, oh my God, it's great. And I clicked
And
on
then
it,
you
and
realize-
I was like, whoa, I'm not going to the Troubadour next week. That's crazy.
You don't want people stepping on your feet in the sawdust because everyone stands so close.
It's cotton.
That's
That
why we
doesn't
wear
ha-
boots there,
It
right?
doesn't happen as much anymore. Like,
Well, I haven't been there for a few years.
no, I mean to me, like people stepping on my feet and bumping into
No,
me.
only at the Troubadour.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Well, at first I was like, I'm not trying to stand next to people at the Troubadour. And then it was like, I'm not trying to watch comedy standing up. And I think sometimes the Troubadour does do seating, but like, anyway, it's sold out. So good luck to you
I
and your
would
10
love
shows.
to watch comedy standing up.
You would?
Yeah, how long would the show be? 45 minutes, an hour, 10?
I'll probably do an hour, yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's called. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I think he's the title of the series is called From Scratch. So I take that to mean he's not presenting any new material, like any old material. He's just starting over
And he's just going to talk until he runs out of things to say.
for 10 days in a row, and I guess take the best bits and write a stand-up special.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So
But
so
again, people.
he might go for hours. Is my
People
point.
there.
I'm not ready to go to concerts, but I love concerts. Love live music. Love that experience and that commune and that whole thing. I manage a music venue in Philadelphia. I've been to you as well, tons and tons of concerts. I've saved all of my, they're right here. I've saved all of my ticket stubs and movie stubs and lanyards since like 1996 maybe.
Oh, I thought it was even earlier. I
It
thought you
might
started
be.
this as a child.
Oh no, you know what? I think it might.
What a wonderful collection. People
Yeah,
don't
check this
usually
out.
think of those things till it's, way too late.
Check this out, ready? Uh-oh, stuff's falling. This is just a
You
sample.
want me to hold the mic?
Look at this. Let's see if you can pull something out. What do you got?
Iggy and Demi Lovato.
Iggy. What is that? What'd you pull out? Oh, Iggy Azalea and Demi Lovato. Forgot about that one. Here's Troubadour.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, this thing just leaks.
Oh, the pin is not holding.
That's okay.
Oh, the Standard. Which one was this? Do you know? New York or LA?
That looks like New York, so yeah. Here, let's find movie tickets.
Is that where I got the pillow I told you about?
I think so. Yeah, here's like the first Harry Potter movie. Here's True Romance in the theater.
True Romance. I haven't
Natural
seen
Born
that
Killers.
for probably a year.
Tommy Boy. Anyway,
Tommy Boy.
I guess I was bragging about
Tommy
this, but
Boy is with who?
Tommy Boy is Chris Farley and David Spade in their glory.
Yeah, when they were young.
So I'm looking forward to going back to concerts. This is K-Rock's Almost Acoustic Christmas. This was a Spotify thing where Childish Gambino did a house concert. Okay, anyway, I'm getting off topic.
But that's an amazing collection, and it's really,
It's
I
a
said
lot.
as he tossed things onto the floor that had fallen off of the cliff. That's
this?
cute. It's really nice.
Oh, it's
What is that? It's a wrist. It's a wristband.
an artist
like
pass
around
for
you
a film
somewhere.
festival.
That's a nice collection.
It is good. Some of the stubs are so faded you can like barely read it. It's just like a Ticketmaster paper.
My Ticketmaster David Bowie show from I'm not trying to find the year.
Tower Theater.
Tower Theater. Thank you. Tower Theater is so faded.
I'm
I
an
can read it
alligator.
barely.
I'm a mama papa coming for you. We saw David Bowie at the Tower Theater years ago.
I called you one day and I said, you know how I really say to you, I have no regrets. I mean, things go sideways, things happen, but it's already written, it's already done. And you said, yeah. And I said, I have a regret. And you said, what is it? And I said, you once said to me, I'm going to a David Bowie concert. Do you want to go? And I said, no.
That's
I
the wrong
said
answer.
it has bothered me all these years, and I realize I can't stop thinking about it. And you said something like, was very supportive and nice, and then we moved on. About 2 days later, you came over and you said, I have something for us. I don't remember how many tickets you have.
3, I believe.
3, okay. So you said, I have tickets to the David Bowie at the Tower Theater like next week.
And they were like, I just lucked out. It wasn't a hookup. It was just like I went online and got, it was like second row balcony, like dead center, thin white Duke.
It was wonderful. And when we were there was a lot of cannabis smoking, and it was not legal at that time, but it was there anyway. And I didn't and don't care for that because I would get a very strong contact high. And I went to the ladies' room, and when I finally re-emerged from the ladies' room, you said, "Are you okay? Like, you were there a really long time." I said, "Well, you know the size of a bathroom in this place." You said, "Yeah." I said, "There must have been like 55 women in there." So you said the line was really long. I said, "Yeah," and every one of them except me was smoking a joint. And you said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." I was like, Anyway,
Nice.
It just added to the experience.
Yeah.
But it was wonderful that you did that.
I was great.
And my goodness, I never would have forgiven myself if I hadn't seen him.
Yeah, Bowie there's like some people, it's like, I got to live during the same time as like that art was being made and that person walked around, you know? I think about that with Bob Marley. I think that, like, that's a prophet to many people, including me. And like the idea that he was just here making this art during like my lifetime is just totally like doesn't fit.
But he was so amazing on at least 3 levels, and how he affected people in the way he saw the world.
Yeah.
It's not just the music.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like
I can see where that's a major
I don't want to add labels or whatever, but like it's like crazy that like there are stories that talk about him in the same context as people talk about deities or actual prophets or supposed prophets. Anyway, like I learned I saw on TikTok, kids now who are nostalgic for 90s fashion and culture is the same as when I was their age and doing the same thing for the 60s.
90s culture.
Yeah, grunge and
90s.
Backstreet Boys and Lisa Frank and baggy jeans and just like the whole, you were busy.
But the 60s I understand, the 90s maybe not so much.
I feel the same way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I've caught up to where how I interpreted your stuff. Like, I was like, oh, my mom and dad's thing was the late 60s.
It was the best.
In the 90s, I'm like, oh, that was the best. And now that same sort of fetishizing of a past era is happening with like 20-somethings about the 90s. It's just, time. Oh, time. Yeah.
So I want to mention that the mic covers both match your sweatshirt. Do you want to tell us about your sweatshirt? Is that something?
It's my girlfriend's. I just put it on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So then I'll tell you about my shirt, jacket. Do you
this,
like the way I got that in
like...
without like going right ahead? Okay.
You can just show me your jacket.
So this is my jacket. Pardon me while I smooth it out. It's kind of close, but
oh my god, it's so cool.
Look at this, and it's an OC.
Maybe you'll turn it for the whole back.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of close to the camera.
There you go. That is so cool. Long live opening ceremony.
Opening ceremony. We lost you.
They're back in some sort of form, but it's not the same. Like
Are
online.
they producing their own stuff?
They are, and it's online. I think at some point they're doing a store.
Oh, I hope so.
I have to change the subject, but related to the subject.
I guess I was never.
You just wanted to show off your jacket, right? Is there a story about it?
No.
Do you want to make a story up so it doesn't seem like there wasn't a story about it?
No.
I'll give you time if you want.
No.
What's the story with that jacket?
No, I was just going to say I have a half a dozen pieces by opening ceremony, and a couple of things that I bought in the opening ceremony store that somebody else manufactured, and they're pieces of art.
They're the best.
They're amazing pieces of art.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll wear one next time.
There you go. I'll wear some.
I don't have anywhere else to wear it, so I might as well show you.
So we're not being sponsored by the following group, but I had Double Zero Pizza 3 times this week. It's Matthew Kenny's plant-based pizzeria. It's in LA. Apparently there's one in New York as well. I've not been to that one. It's hands down the best pizza I've had in California in the 10 years that I've been here. Regardless of the cheese being plant-based, which is a benefit for some people, it would be a detriment to others. Whatever is like lost by not having a full fat dairy cheese, the crust is so perfect. I had like a calzone. I'm like so all about this. And then I learned that the chef, Matthew Kenny, opened up a drive-through plant-based, like a fast food joint in Costa Mesa. It's like burgers and fries, drive-through.
Plant-based.
100%.
Healthy oils.
I imagine so, but I don't know. I've not been there. But like that's a major deal. And that he's opening up a deli, like a takeout. Like you go and get like tuna salad and coleslaw, slice whatever. 100% plant-based.
Here?
That's opening up in LA. And then he's got plans to open 100 stores in America. He just like became like the guy. So congratulations. And I'm happy to hear this because last time I was at he has a plant-based spot in Venice that like I wasn't that thrilled with. And now I'm like, oh, he wasn't focusing on that. He was planning this empirical takeover.
So what plant-based burger product does he use? Do we know?
I don't know if they, for the fast food ones? No, I don't know. I'm sure he makes his own though.
Oh, okay.
I shouldn't say that. Maybe he has a deal.
I was hoping.
Look,
no.
you can buy Beyond stock if you want. Impossible is not public yet, so what are you gonna do? But it's a very encouraging. Like, I saw a commercial for was it Taco Bell? I don't know. One of the major fast food, junk food places was like mainly it was Burger King, advertising.
Did they show the king?
Maybe, but they were advertising their plant-based dish like on like the NBA playoffs, like prime time, 7-figure media buy. I'm like, this is exciting.
It took a couple generations, but it's great.
And it's really great because if we didn't figure it out, we'd have big problems soon. So it's great. It's
at least we might have something to. We'll have something to eat.
We would have had to have eaten bugs, so this is great. This is good. All the protein would have come from crickets and such. Mm-hmm. Cricket fried rice.
So sometimes we get
Monsieur.
crickets in the house. I don't know where they are. Well, sometimes they hop out and we go into action. And I grab a cup and Joel grabs a piece of cardboard or a magazine.
Teamwork.
And one of us carries it out, and he always puts it across the street so it can't find its way back into the house.
That's hilarious.
So I said to my brother, who lives in Chatsford and has a lot of
Wooded area in Pennsylvania.
nice critters on his property and around. And I said something about, one of them was really gigantic. I didn't see it. I didn't get to meet it, but I know it's gigantic. It was so loud, and it was all day and night. And it was very annoying. And he said, we have crickets in between the walls in the house all the time. He said, we love it. We love hearing that sound. It's like being out with nature. He said, they don't live that long. Cherish it while you can hear them.
Wow.
Wow. Well, at least I wasn't killing them. I was capturing them, taking them
That's
outside.
true. But that makes me think of like fixating on a sound and it being a bad sound and trying to have to change it at all costs.
It was like there's a cricket in the house again.
And I heard this
doesn't matter.
This like meditation once where they refer to these things as like changing the radio station. Like you can choose to what used to be a dial, like turn the dial and choose to listen to the cricket as opposed to it being like an invasive signal. And if you don't like it, like recognize that, it's an annoying sound. It's easier said than done.
You just said it's an annoying sound.
It is an annoying sound, so it's easier said than done. It's like cricket's like a smoke detector that doesn't have a new battery in it.
Oh, yes.
And it's hard to change the channel, so to speak, on really annoying sounds. But like if we listen, there's like other sounds. There's like I don't practice this. I'm just preaching it. Like 2 nights ago, I had my window open, and at like 12:30 at night, 1 a.m., there's this guy just having a full volume conversation. His back is to the window, but he's 10 feet away from where I'm sleeping. And it wasn't, I don't think he was super drunk, and he wasn't having an aggressive conversation. It was just like, didn't give a shit that anybody else might have been around. It was just like he was having a call. And I had this moment of like, I don't want confrontation, but this has to stop. And I sort of cycled through a couple choices. And then something came out of me that like, was almost like a character wrote it. Like it wasn't something I'd ever say. I wasn't doing an impression, but it also was like maybe like an affectation of some sort. And it was like I was like, hey bud, keep it moving, please. Like, I don't talk like that. Oh no, there was a bit of like, hey bud, keep it moving, please. It was kind of like a.
And then what happened?
He did like a half acknowledgement turn, not even
Was he
eye
holding a
contact.
phone? You're doing this.
He was on the phone.
Oh, okay.
The guy was on the phone outside at 1 a.m.
Okay.
having a phone conversation. Thank you. Did I not say that?
I don't know.
I appreciate that. Right, because if he was just talking loudly, it wouldn't have been the same thing. I said it.
No, I only said it because you were doing this.
I thought I said it was 12:30 or 1 a.m. and this guy was having a phone call and he wasn't drunk and he wasn't extra aggressive.
You're right.
He was
I
just
got so
having
wrapped up in.
But you're right, because if I didn't mention a phone,
I didn't say you didn't mention it. I don't know.
No,
I was so wrapped up in the story, I didn't remember.
I said what I said. I said what I said. I said what I said, and he did like let's say you all are me. He kind of did like a half turn to acknowledge he heard something, and then just started walking. He just left. Gone.
Wow.
It was like, and to be totally candid, like my heart was racing. I'm like,
Ooh.
because if he turned around and said like Jews control the media, like we'd have a problem. You know what I mean? So like I just didn't know what to expect, and instead he just walked away. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I was just thinking of all the choices you had. That's the one that came up now. I can't wait till next time to hear what the next choice will be.
Hey bud, keep it moving, please. It sounds like something like an animatronic at Frontierland would say. Like if like a sensor recognizes that guests are like staying in the same place and is like, move along, partner.
Oh, it definitely does. Like put your hands inside
Yes.
the
Monorail, tram, ride, car,
that'll
cart,
work too, right?
gondola.
Gondola. I couldn't think of it. Inside the gondola, right? Keep your hands inside.
Oh man. So yeah, it was I'm also obsessed with stories of people who worked at Disney and had these guest encounters. And one through line that
Guest encounter,
Guests,
as opposed to guests having character encounters.
well, some of these people telling the stories do play characters.
Okay.
But they can't say they play characters. They have to say that they're friends with Robin or friends with Mickey.
Oh no.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole
terrific.
thing. You guys know. People know. And I it's all good. But the through line I'm seeing like on TikTok through these stories of people, tell us a guest story that you were like, what? I've heard not 1 or 2 or 10 or 20, but like 30 or more stories of people working at the park, a family or representative of the family, usually seems like the mom, and they say things like, that moon is so realistic, I don't know how y'all do it. Or, the rain's been nice, but can you please turn it off? My kids are wet and they've had enough. And they have to consistently, not once or twice, but I guess all the time, every day.
People feel it's so magical. They think it's all.
They think there's
fake.
a dome
It's
and a
all-
projection. Like someone's in the Star Wars exhibit and they say something like, that moon looks so real. How do y'all do that? And then the
Yeah.
person who works there is also like recognizing the magic. They're not cynics. Like I wouldn't last 30 minutes doing that job. They're like, or skeptics even. They're like, oh wow, this place is very magical. We think that if you go to the next part of the park and turn back, it might just look like the same moon. Like we'll see.
How did you pick 30 minutes?
Well, I figured that I had to punch in. I had to do paperwork. I'd have to wait for somebody to go in like a group because on my first day I wouldn't just be sent out there. And it would take probably 30 minutes between the time that I arrive and like I'm in.
Oh, as soon as someone said something.
As soon as one person is
that's-
like, "Do you work here?"
I got it. Now I understand.
And I think that's generous. It could be an hour and a half. Oh man, did I ever tell you about the game that my friend Josh and I played about who could get a job, who could keep a job the longest?
Yes.
All right. This is so rude, and
So brilliant.
I would never do this ever
It is so brilliant.
now. But we were in our early 20s. We just finished college. We were in Philadelphia, and we made a game up that was So the rules were we both had to go get a job. Step one, which I recognize the privilege and the entitlement and the job market implications of this game. So please don't drag me in the comments. But this happened 20 years ago. 20 years ago, it was a different time. Chumbawamba was on the radio, and everyone was doing the Men in Black dance. So it was the game was the first step is you had to get a job. And he got a job.
A lot of people are playing that game.
I know, I sound like an asshole.
You don't sound like that. It's fine. I'm just playing around with you.
And
I'm telling you, the whole thing and the way you did it is brilliant.
Thank you.
I encourage you to tell the story.
Okay.
Don't worry, cousin.
Thank you. Was that a Balky Bartokomous impression from Perfect Strangers? Bronson Pinchot circa 1989? Don't worry, cousin. It's totally Perfect Strangers. I tried to watch Perfect Strangers again like a few months ago. It's on Hulu. It's very bad. It's very, very, very
They
bad.
were a bit stilted.
It's very
and they
bad.
didn't look like cousins. But it was entertaining. And
No, it wasn't. I watched it.
I remember it was, well.
It was.
But
At the
meanwhile,
time.
you were able to quote it.
And David loved it.
Did he?
Yeah, he loved Perfect Strangers.
He liked, what was her name? Mian Balak.
Mayim Bialik, Blossom.
Blossom. Oh,
Yeah.
he loved that show.
We were saying we just saw Mayim Bialik guest host Jeopardy for a few weeks. I'm like, oh, maybe David would be interested in seeing this. And I was like, I don't think he'll recognize her. And we all grew up.
Woman.
Yeah, she's mother of a bunch of kids and an adult, and it's just like, I don't know if he would actually recognize that that's Blossom.
I don't know. He recognized her voice. I don't know.
Maybe he'd recognize Joey Lawrence. He played the brother. His big catchphrase was "Whoa!" Like they were like, "What a catchphrase!" And
Joey Lawrence
was on Blossom.
was on Blossom.
He played the brother Joey.
Now I have to go back and look.
Where else do you know Joey Lawrence from? No.
Oh, see, that's why I whispered it.
That's Matt LeBlanc playing a character called Joey.
Oh God,
But
meanwhile, I watch
Joey-
Friends every day at lunch.
That's cool.
I know. It's hysterical. I started at the first season.
Nice.
I mean, it's really funny. The writers would have a crescendo, great joke, and then there'd be another one, and then there'd be another
jokes,
one,
yeah.
then there'd be another one. And it really makes me laugh. I said, Joe, I'm watching Friends. He said, I know, I can hear you laughing from the other room.
That's wonderful.
I laughed like
Frankie
10
Joe-
times. It's very healthy to laugh.
Joel told me you were editing the podcast and laughing. He was like, she's laughing so loud. She's reviewing the podcast. I'm like, that sounds great. He's like, I don't know what she's laughing at. I was like, have you watched our show? And he's like, some of them.
He watches all of them.
I know. I think he's just being coy. All right. So step one is we each had to get a job, right? And then step two was
I don't know if he's watching it or listening to it.
I don't know what anyone's doing. I think that some people.
So go on YouTube and go to Everybody and Their Mother Has a Podcast and you can watch it. It really is better when you watch it.
I think so. Different, I should say. So step one is to get a job. Step two was to keep that job, and whoever could keep the job the longest without ever going to the job won. And I got a job at Johnny Rockets, and he got a job, my friend, at...
This was in Philly?
It was. And he got the Johnny Rockets on South Street. And he got a fast food place. He got a job at like a beauty supply place. And I basically won on the first day because I got the job and they're like, I just finished college and they suggested I was overqualified, but we'd love to have you. And I was like, great. I was like, oh, but there is one more thing. I can't start for 3 weeks because I have to... And I didn't actually lie. I just said I can't start for 3 weeks. Oh, that was the other thing. I never actually lied. I just kept calling and saying, I won't be there. I'm so sorry. And so I kept that job for like 7 weeks. Josh got let go like 3 weeks in. So like, listen, if you're not going to show up, we can't. It's okay, but like, what's up? 7 weeks. I didn't earn any money or like go there or sign paperwork or have a tax implication.
And they probably were laughing about it every day. It was probably like, all right, who thinks they're going to win the bet? Who else wants to out of the pool?
That's great. They had their own bet of when I was going to show up and whoever...
And here's Johnny. Who's Johnny? Oh, we hired him because this guy's never showing up. We're just taking bets on how long it's going to be.
I love that.
I never thought of that before.
I love that. I hope that's what happened.
Let's call Johnny Rockets and find out. Here's the Zeffironi. Hello.
Look at that,
Look
sweetie.
at this cat. So it's nice to hang out with you here.
Yeah, it's nice. You can come over anytime.
Thank you.
This is where I keep all my stuff.
I noticed it. It's very cool. We should have a definite time daily where we do nothing. The brain needs time to
I like that.
calm and reflect and plan and listen to your body and listen to your thoughts and listen to your inner person. And it's really important and it's really healthy.
What time do you do it?
Sometimes I do it when I first wake up. I'll pick up the phone and then I'll put it down. And I just spend some time. Sometimes it's like daydreaming, but it's really more like checking in with myself and how I feel. It's helping me remember to do something fun and something that I need in some way.
Nice.
Anyway, so that's good.
I want to show you a photograph before we go. He met Zephyr, and he would consistently hang out against this wall on the floor and sort of splayed out with his paws out. He's gonna jump. And then over time, I started to place like things on the bulletin board behind him, and then a coffee cup in front of him. And so ultimately, he would just sit down in what we would call his office. And then I took a photograph of that. Took a photograph of that, and then got that photograph printed in a frame, and then hung that photograph up in his office. So the next time he went and sat down in front of it, took a picture of that, and then we did it again, and then did it again. So here's Zephyr in his office, and the mug says, Britney survived 2007, you can handle today. And on his bulletin board, it says...
His bulletin board.
a to-do list, checklist. It says bathe and sleep, and bathe is checked off. And then play with mouse. And then the other one is taxes, with a question mark. So this is that photo that we took. And then after I got it printed, I put it up in his office, and then he laid down in front of it. And then we took this picture. And then did it again. And then I did it again, and that one's being printed, so I'll get to show it to you soon.
That's amazing that you thought of it. And there's the picture and the picture. And
It's, pandemic. It was a lot of time on my hands.
all right. It was great to see you.
It was great to see
Thanks
you.
for hosting it here.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming over, and I got to not have to put
Always
shoes on.
fun.
It was great. Anytime I don't need shoes, I'm +1.
Nice.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe, tell a friend.
And watch us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mother has a podcast.
Excellent. Call your mother.
Doesn't it seem like everybody and their mother has a podcast? Oh, so I started a podcast with my mom. We wanted a theme song so you could sing along.